So the topic tonight is gods and monsters. And, we're kind of gods, right? We create things that don't exist, ever existed before. Scientists created a bacteria that when it flatulates, it smells like bananas. That was something that never existed before. We're kind of gods. We're also monsters because we also make weapons that want to kill each other in mass quantities. So we got a duality to us. Duality. I grew up in Southern Ohio, and I had a pretty good upbringing. I had some really good parents. My mother and father were young. They were 19 and 21 when they had me, and they did the best they could. I played baseball from like 5 until I was like 16. And they were like at every baseball game. That really blew my mind. A lot of kids' parents never showed up or never there. They were always there for me. My dad took me fishing, took me hunting, taught me how to live off the land, so to speak. When I was growing up at Christmas, they bought me a computer. And I'm 44, so this is like a TRS-80 Tandy computer, with a cassette drive, and that's how I got all geekified. I learned that shit, and it really propelled my career along. So, at the same time, they got me a keyboard. They said either music or technology. I love music, but I could never play it, so technology is the way I went. And, growing up as a child, I had really great parents, and I looked up to them, and they were gods in my eyes. But I realized there's duality in life, and there's a positive side and there's a negative side. And here I look at my life, and no matter what I do in life, it's never enough. I often call myself a worthless piece of shit. Yeah, isn't that fucked up? To call yourself a worthless piece of shit. And you know why I call myself a worthless piece of shit? Because my dad called me a worthless piece of shit. He was a great father, but he didn't understand. He never had love in his life. Rewind to his growing up. He grew up in the 50s. He had a father who was an alcoholic. He had a mother who skipped town when he was 5 years old and didn't come back until I was born. So he never really knew love. His father just screamed and yelled at him and beat the hell out of him. He went to the military when he was, 17, and went to Vietnam and fought in the war, and I think he probably killed a lot of people there. He doesn't talk about it. Some people wear it on a sleeve, and he wears it on the bed sheets at night when he sweats because he has nightmares. So I don't blame my father for not knowing love. I don't blame my father for treating him the way he did. He thought he was trying to raise a stronger man. So he grew up in the 50s. What do you remember about the 50s? John Wayne, kick some ass. Things are going to get better. You're going to be a tough guy, right? That's how my dad kind of raised me. I said we went fishing and hunting. Yeah, we did. But my dad was kind of like that military instructor from Full Metal Jacket. That guy screaming and yelling at you. I could be like 100 yards. We go ice fishing, snow's up to here. He's 100 yards away from me. Boy, get your ass up here. What the hell's wrong with you, you worthless piece of shit? Catch up now. I have an incredible drive in my life. Probably more than most. I'm not happy with whatever I do. I always want more. And it's because of that. So like I said, I don't blame my father for those things, but he never knew love. Growing up as a child, even until today, I could probably count on my hands how many times my parents actually told me they loved me. It was implied, right? Hey, we're here, good job, way to go. But it wasn't like, hey, I love you, son, you're great. So what do we take away from this gods and monsters duality? Here I am later in my life. I realize why I have depression problems, why I have issues with what I do, why I scream and yell at myself on the inside is because of him. And all I can do is correct the future. I'm not going to get stuck up on that, I'm not going to get hung up on that. Why? Why should I get hung up on something that happened 20 years ago, All I can do is correct the future. So I have a little girl. And a lot of you out there know Zoe Cyan Green. You've seen her running around. She's 8 years old, going on 9 years old, going on 25 before we know it. And I tell her I love her every moment I get, I try my damnedest to lift her up. Do I have those gods, monsters, and in between we call demons. Yeah, I have them inside of me. And I want to be that hard ass like my dad was to me, but I can't, because look what it did. So you can lift people up. So I guess in the stories of gods and monsters is the gods you look up to sometimes are the monsters that scare you most. And in between we have the demons, and you can dwell with the demons. Now, what I learned, and this is kind of veering into an interesting way to end this story, was I really liked Rage Against the Machine in college. He likes Rage Against the Machine. Come on, man. Don't you wish they were back? This would be a perfect time for Rage to kick in, right? Well, we got Prophets of Rage. It's kind of like Rage, but not quite them. But anyways, if you have no idea it's Rage Against the Machine, you're like, what the hell is he talking about? But anyways, one thing that Zach, the lead singer of Rage, said was anger is a gift, right? When you get angry and those demons come out of you from your gods and your monsters and you want to lash out, that's not what the anger is. Use it. Use it to make change. Use it to tell a story. Use it to go across Akron and tell stories. Use it to tell podcast stories. Use it to tell television stories. Use your anger as a positivity. And you know what? We all have these demons inside of us. It's how you choose to live with those demons and use those demons. And that is my story of gods, monsters, and demons in between.